What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD1 here, and we're back here again with another episode installment of the weekly series, the new show we have here on PlayStation Source called Save Slot. Now, first up here on the dock, last year on the second half of 2018 during the summer, there was a big talk. I'm sure you all are very much aware of the cross-play debacle. PlayStation wasn't playing ball. Everyone wanted them to play ball with the cross-play movement and everything. And we now have one of the big proponents and the big games that a lot of people were asking for to get cross-play support from the jump, really. And even the devs have been very vocal about it. You know, they have really wanted this to happen and really wanted cross-play to be across their game, across all platforms. And now we see that come to fruition. We have Rocket League here coming in from Psyonix, and they are officially on the PlayStation. They are calling it their cross-form, not cross-form, they're like cross-play beta type deal, where, you know, that's how PlayStation's dubbing it, a beta type deal, which Fortnite is on now, but now they've added Rocket League as well. So Rocket League officially is now cross-play across all different platforms on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and I think that's it. I don't think Mac, but I think just those core four platforms you can go and you can play with anyone on those platforms on Rocket League. So pretty cool to see that there. Just thought I'd throw this in. It is enabled automatically, so you don't have to do anything on your end to you know, enable it. It is 100% enabled already from the get-go, but if you want to disable it, you can go to the options menu in the main menu and you can disable it if you want to disable the crossplay feature and not match with anyone from any other platform and keep on your ecosystem. But that's cool to see right there. Hopefully this gets onto other games in the future. Now this one is a touchy subject for me personally, because I'm not sure if I want it, but after seeing the fan film of this that could be a movie, I'm kind of more lenient on being okay with it at this current point. But we have the Uncharted movie. It is back in the news because it got a new director, and this is the big thing, because this director, his name is Dan Trachtenberg or something like that. I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure I butchered that last name, but Dan T, we'll call him. He directed 10 Cloverfield Lane. He directed the episode of Black Mirror as well. So he has a few directing, you know, points here and there and stuff like that. You know, he's definitely been around, and he's been signed on to this movie to direct the Uncharted movie. And what's so great about this was this tweet that he tweeted out. He said small beginnings on this quote tweet, but within the tweet there's a clip of him from 2007 that I'm gonna play for you all right now.
What do you think, Dan? What do you think of Uncharted?
Okay, so this was my most anticipated game of the year.
Yeah, you were talking about trying to get the rights to make it a movie.
You love Prince of Persia.
I love, in terms of the games, I love that, and in terms of genre of movies, I wish I could make this movie. I think this is as good as many movies.
I agree.
And so yeah, I mean, it's very much, I guess, well known that this director here is a very big fan of Uncharted, and it goes all the way back to 2007 with him even saying that he wanted to make a movie about Uncharted. And you know, I feel a little bit better about this movie now, with its, you know, just with it being in the hands of a director that understands and that is a gamer himself. You know what I'm saying? I was just afraid that we were gonna get just some director that just wanted to make it what it isn't, you know, and just have it not work out. And usually, of course, you know, video games that get turned to movies are very difficult to make happen and make it work out and make it be good necessarily. So I don't know, I guess I have a little bit of hope here. I guess we'll see how this all turns out. You know, I definitely have my eye on the Uncharted movie. Now these stats came out this week, and this really isn't, you know, anything crazy news. I just thought it was really cool to bring up on this show, and that is that PS4 has sold, of course, 91.6 million units as of December 31st, 2018. So definitely they crossed the 9 million mark. Insane right there. 90 million, I think it's a 9 million, 90 million, crazy right there. And it's gonna pass 100 million. It's gonna pass 100 million, I think, by the end of maybe 2019 for sure, but I'm thinking even sooner than that. I think maybe by the summertime it'll hit over 100 million, which is crazy to think as well. And what is a crazy stat that a lot of people aren't talking about, that Colin Moriarty actually brought up as well. I saw his tweet while I was getting out of work the other night, and that was that he you know, just highlighted and pointed out that the attach rate for the PS4 is 9.6 games for PS4. So round up that 0.6, because you can't have 0.6 of a game, you know, however they're getting that, whatever. But you know, just rounding, of course, and averages. So I get why they got 9.6, but technically we can round up to just 10, right? So there's 10 games per PS4 that people are downloading, which is an insane number. That is a big attach rate. That just means a lot right there. Like for a console to have that high of an attach rate, which is pretty, that's an amazing stat. So that's really the big takeaway here, is that for every one PS4 sold, there's at least 10 games. Now obviously that's not every PS4, obviously it averages. Some people like me, I have like 80 games in my catalog, so of course there are a lot of outliers that are kind of gonna make that average go up, and the hardcore base is definitely gonna make that average go up. But still, nonetheless, that is a crazy number, and that's something definitely to praise about. And we will see how much PlayStation kills it in 2019. This one here I thought was actually really funny personally. So Rockstar right now is getting sued yet again. They have a legal lawsuit in their hands, and that is because they apparently are being sued by the Pinkerton Consulting Investigations, which was a real-life detective agency founded back in 1850 that also did the same thing that they did in the games as well, and that was go after outlaws and such. And so the Pinkertons are saying that the game is framing them as villains, and they're hunting down the game's protagonists, and that they are just tarnishing the reputation of the Pinkertons' name and foundation and famous trademarks and stuff like that. And then obviously Rockstar's counterpoint would be, quote, the game's reference to the historical Pinkerton National Detective Agency and its agents is one but of many of a myriad of ways that Red Dead 2 accurately portrays the historical 19th century American landscape. And so they're essentially just like, dude, we're putting you in the game because it's historically accurate to what we're talking about and what the game is about. Like, it's about outlaws, so of course we're gonna have Pinkertons going after outlaws because that's what they did to be historically accurate, so it's a crazy lawsuit. I'm pretty sure Rockstar's gonna win this, because I don't see the point in this. Like, they prove, they like say that they're defaming their name and stuff like that, but I mean, they're really not. It's just the point of the game is just to be historically accurate. But we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how salty the Pinkertons get at the end of this lawsuit. Now, this one here, I'm going to refrain from saying any spoilers about this story, but we're talking about the Ubisoft Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC. Now, I'm done playing Odyssey. I'm probably not going to touch it for a few months now, just because I put so many hours into that game, around 45, I think, 44 hours, crazy amount of hours I put in that game. I loved it. I just need a little step back, play some other games. But they launched their DLC, Legacy of the Blade, Legacy of the First Blade, excuse me, that whole DLC package and everything, and they launched DLC 2 of that catalog, of that, collection of DLC, and I'm a bitch. I said I'm a bitch. I'm gonna just be very, very vague here. So essentially what's happening here is that there is an event at the end of the episode that everyone gets, regardless of what you choose within the episode to like kind of sway that decision and sway something that happened. Inevitably, it just happens. So a lot of people are very upset about that. They're saying that their choices don't matter. We've seen this argument with a bunch of Telltale games. We've seen this argument with a bunch of different other games like Don't Nod as well with Life is Strange, that they have these instances where things just happen no matter what you choose, even though the game kind of lets you know and kind of paints this facade that you have agency on the story, and they just get upset when of course that doesn't happen. And so Ubisoft had an official comeback, and they said, we strive to give players choice whenever possible in Odyssey and apologize to those surprised by the events in this episode. Without spoiling it, you will engage in an important relationship as part of a set story. The motivation behind this relationship is yours to explore in game and will be reflected in your character's story arc. There is one episode left in Legacy of the First Blade which will tie your character's actions together. So they're saying that, hey guys, just hold on tight. Your choices, I guess, eventually will matter in the third episode, but for right now we're just trying to tell a story, and this has to happen in order to tell that story. So I definitely understand that. I definitely do understand their point of view. Like, at the end of the day, they are telling a story through his DLC, so of course things have to happen in this DLC for a story to take place. So I definitely see that. A lot of people are very upset about it, but they say they say just hold on, just hang tight. wait till episode 3 and your choices will, you know, you will see the outcome of your choices that you made in episodes 1 and 2. Now, the biggest news we got this week, I made a dedicated video about this. I'll put a link in the description, top of the description. EA, of course, canceled their open world Star Wars game, and well, technically here it's not officially confirmed, but it's pretty much well known that it was canceled. But you know, EA hasn't really came out and said that necessarily, but they did have a response here that we will read here. So they say, quote, "There's been speculation overnight about one of our Star Wars projects. As a natural part of the creative process, the great work by our team in Vancouver continues and will evolve into further Star Wars content and games. We're fully committed to making more Star Wars games. We're very excited about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from Respawn, and we'll share more about our new projects when the time is right." And so they didn't really, you know, just straight up deny that the game was canceled, you know what I'm saying, but they didn't really say that it wasn't. They kind of go in a very middle stance where they say, hey, there's been speculation, but this is a part of the process, whatever. So I guess, you know, that's that. I mean, I just want to throw it in there just to get your guys' feedback on this. And I did say in the EA video that I made earlier this week that I would come back to Save Slot and I will give an update if they ever comment about this week, you know, outside of that video. So this is that comment, and I guess we'll see, you know, what happens here. You know, there's rumored, actually, you know what, I talked about it a lot in that video. Make sure to go check out that video about the follow-up and what's been rumored to, you know, happen after this open world game, because there's more stuff than just it being canceled. Definitely go check out that video, link in the description. If you wanted to play Call of Duty Black Ops 4's Blackout mode but didn't have the cash to fork it out, you can play Blackout for free for an entire week. Yeah, so they're having a trial period right now where you can play through January 17th through the 24th, a full week. And I know I'm saying this right now on Friday, so a few days in, but hey, you can still jump in and play some Blackout this weekend if you're interested, and it is free. And it's not clear if you need PlayStation Plus. I assume you might need PlayStation Plus. That's what I'm assuming. But if not, then feel free to go ahead and play some Blackout. I was streaming it the other night with some friends. Very cool. It's a fun mode. It's fun. They got a new update as well, so pretty cool to get into that Blackout if you're interested, and you can play it for free right now for a week. Now, sometimes Sony comes out with these email surveys to get feedback from the community and stuff like that, and so they have come out, and there's reportedly another email as well that's talking about the future of PlayStation and the future of gaming specifically. And so there is a quote here by someone that got the actual email, and they say, quote, "It is a very simple survey that asks for a little more than about a dozen questions, all concerning console or handheld gaming and how the user experiences it. The questions revolve around the user experience and how they utilize their console. They ask about streaming, playing games online or offline, and also have a question dedicated to owning consoles, mobile, or other gaming devices." And so a lot of people are saying that, like, this could be, you know, definitely them gathering feedback for the groundwork of the PlayStation 5, and I think specifically how they have a question dedicated to whether you own your console and stuff like that, or, you know, you have other gaming devices and stuff like that. I think they are getting at some questions about, you know, how they're going to handle PS5, right? Because a big thing that a lot of people are kind of questioning is that, you know, is PS5 going to have backwards compatibility? And I think honestly, the way games have evolved into this games as a service type deal, I think you have to have some sort of backwards compatibility, because if you can't play Fortnite on the PS5 on day one, that's an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like a bunch of different things that I'm thinking here. Any of these just live as service games, you know, I think that it's going to be a big problem if the PS5 isn't backwards compatibility, or it just doesn't have that kind of functionality. So hopefully you know, it will, and I really do think it will personally. I just don't see it not. But if you get this email, make sure to do it. You know, give them your feedback and everything, and we will see hopefully what comes of this survey when the PS5 comes out. This one is super interesting. Death Stranding, Hideo Kojima's next game. A lot of people are either confused about it or can't wait for it. Me, I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I have no idea. But beside the point, Kojima had some people from Guerrilla Games come in and play Death Stranding. Specifically, they had a managing director, and they also had a combat designer from Guerrilla Games as well. And of course, they're, you know, on their own team working on the next Horizon game, which I cannot wait for. But they were very much impressed about Death Stranding when they played it. at the studio. So they said, quote, that the response has been enthusiastic to say the least, with managing director Herman Hulst stating that he's, quote, so impressed with what the Japanese developer's been up to. Horizon Zero Dawn's game director I'm sorry, dude, I'm sorry for butchering that name, but he added that the demo left him, quote, speechless, while the combat designer Dennis Zopfi described it as intriguing, beautiful, touching, mysterious, amazing, artistic, thrilling, engaging, inspiring, and masterful. That's a lot of words for just a demo here. That's a lot of words for a demo. Okay, so that's really all he said revolving around this demo of Death Stranding. And so, what do you guys think? What do you guys have to say about Death Stranding? Are you excited about it? Can you not wait for it? Christian obviously is excited about it. Me personally, I'm a little hesitant. I haven't seen anything that really convinces me, but of course a lot of people are saying, yo, it's Kojima, so it's gonna be good. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? People are saying it's coming out this year, but at least from the voices of Guerrilla Games employees, they are really loving and call it a masterful experience, and that's just a demo, so we'll see when the full game comes out. A beta that I've been waiting to get into, Media Molecule. I know you're probably not watching this, but if you're watching it somehow, let me in this beta. What are you doing? Let me in. Let me in. Let your boy in. TKD123. But beside the point here, Media Molecule has done some changes to this beta, and they are extending it. And so they had a few comments here to say about the whole beta. They say, quote, therefore we are happy to say there will be 3 new waves of beta entries. One will go out Thursday, January 27th, 2019 for both the US and the European market. Then on Monday, January 21st, 2019, we will be sending out codes to the remainder of the European signups. So everyone that was in the European market and European countries will be able to get the beta. Then on Wednesday the 23rd of January, codes will be sent for the remainder of the US signups. So that's me. Hopefully I'll get it on Wednesday. They're saying that the remainder of people that sign up that are in the US will get in this beta. Hopefully I will. And along with those new waves of beta entries, they also said that they will be extending the beta for 2 extra weeks. So the beta was originally going to close on the 21st, but now it will come to a close on the 4th of February. So pretty cool to see that there. Get our hands on Dreams. I cannot wait to play it. I'm just interested. I'm just intrigued. I want to know what it is. I know what it is, but I want to play it. I want to know how it feels. I want to know how what it's like to create in that space. So I cannot wait to personally play that, and hopefully I get access on Wednesday. And lastly here, kind of to touch base on the whole Activision and Bungie split. Bungie has, you know, kind of put a flag in the sand and dedicated their long-term commitment for Destiny. They say here, quote, long-term, Bungie is committed to Destiny. We create the universe and we hold its future entirely in our hands. The vast majority of the team is hard at work envisioning future experiences, enemies, and ways to play the Guardian you've been building since 2014. We're going to keep doing that. So if you had any sort of hesitation or any sort of fear that Bungie was going to go away from Destiny and make a new IP, even though they have, I believe NetEase invested $100 million into Bungie to create a new IP or something like that is really cool and interesting to hear that as well. That came out a few months ago actually, so I really want to see where that comes in and what really that has to do with Bungie's plans moving forward. But in terms of, you know, whether they make a new IP or not, they are still going to commit to Destiny and still going to build it out and still going to support this IP. So pretty cool to hear that there from those Destiny fans that were kind of scared about the future of Destiny. Looks like it is not going anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been this week's episode of Safe Slot. If you all enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video as well as subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Make sure to also check out our description below where you can find the Instagram and Twitter follows on there. Make sure to also check out our Discord as well down below as well. Join our Discord, people. We're popping in there. We're always talking about games, hanging out, all that good stuff. Whenever a big news happens, we're always in there talking. Make sure to go check out that Discord link in the description. Thank you for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.